Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Smith and welcome to my channel. I have a fall craft for you today. We're going to be making a garland. The tools that you're going to be needing are some paper towels, some cups to mix the paint in, a good pair of scissors, some water, paint brushes, and some craft sticks to stir the paint. The materials that you're going to be needing are one package of the wooden ornaments, and this is the turkey. You'll need one package of the leaves and one package of the pumpkins. You're also going to need some twine and some raffia. You'll also be needing some of the Waverly antique wax. And then I have several different colors of paint. You can use whatever type of paint you want. I have apple barrel. This is Cardinal crimson, harvest orange, burnt umber, pale daffodil, and holly branch, which is a nice dark green. Okay, those are all the tools and supplies that you're going to be needing. I'm going to get cleaned up and set up and we will get started. So we're going to go ahead and start with the little turkeys. We're going to be using the burnt umber. And what I've done is I just put a little bit of the paint inside the cup and I added an equal amount of water and mixed it really well. It's nice and thin. I want to use it more as a stain than an actual paint. Okay, then you just dip your brush in. Go ahead and brush over. Move quickly. Then you want to take a paper towel and go back over and rub off any excess. That way it looks like a stain. It makes it look very rustic. And you can still see the wood and its natural grain. I think it's very pretty. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do that to all of the turkeys and set them aside and let them dry. And then we'll come back and we'll do step 2. Okay, I have all the turkeys with the burnt umber. They all look beautiful, nicely stained. So the next step, you want to take some of the antique wax by Waverly. Use a very small amount. This stuff goes a long way. Go ahead and put a little bit on your brush. And then you just want to go through and you want to hit the edges all the way around. Just to add a little bit of dimension and character. So it just adds a little bit of dimension and character to go around and to brush it through just around the edge. Makes it look a little bit weathered and a little bit older. You need very little. Okay, so go ahead and distress your little turkeys all around the edges. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, on the turkey, I went ahead and antiqued it all the way around the edge. Now I decided I want to add a little bit more antiquing. So what I'm going to do is right here where the breast of the turkey is, I'm going to use just the side of my little paintbrush here and make some curved marks. Just to add a little bit of dimension again. And then right where each of the feathers are, I'm going to pull it in just a little bit, not all the way. Again, I just want to add a little bit more dimension so it doesn't look flat. Okay. Very pretty. Okay, so all of my turkeys are done. They've all been distressed. Now I'm going to set them aside and we are going to work on our pumpkin next. So for the pumpkins, we're going to be using the harvest orange and the burnt umber again. I still have some mix from the turkeys. I'm going to be using that. And then I went ahead and I mixed mostly the harvest orange. I put just a touch of the burnt umber, and then again I added water. That way the paint is not super orange and it looks a little bit more distressed again. And I'm making a little mess here. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is we're going to do the stems first. And I'm going to be using the burnt umber on those. So just grab the stems and hit all of your stems. Wipe them up. Okay, so your stem's nice and brown. And now we're just going to do the body of the pumpkin. Same way we did last time with the turkey. Go ahead and take your paint. Get it on there rather quickly. Move it around. And wipe off any excess. We're going to be distressing these as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these to this point, and then I'll be right back. The pumpkins are all done. We have the nice orange stain on there. I'm going to go ahead and distress it now. I'm going to be using the Waverly antique wax to go ahead and distress it. Again, just take a small amount. I'm going to go ahead and work around the edges first. Just want to give it a little weared and weathered. It doesn't take very much, just a little bit. You can wipe off any excess that's on there. And you want to take and dip just the very edge of your paintbrush there. And I'm going to go in and I want to create, again, a little bit of some curved lines. I just want to add a little bit of dimension, give it some shape. Come up to where the stem is, get a little bit more on there. If you feel that it's a little too dry, just add a little bit of water. wipe off any excess. See, we got a nice distressed look. I'm going to go ahead and do this to the rest of the pumpkins, and then I'm going to set them aside and let them dry, and we'll move on to the leaf. We're going to go ahead and do the little leaves now. I went ahead and mixed the rest of the colors and added water to them as well. So again, there's burnt sienna, cardinal crimson, holly branch, harvest orange, and pale daffodil. So I put a little amount of the paint and I mixed it with the water. The first thing that we're going to want to do is use the pale daffodil and the water that's mixed. And we want to do a base coat all over the leaf. Just a very light coat. We're going to be layering the other colors on top to make it look like a leaf that's turning in the fall. So just put a base coat and then wipe off any excess. This way everything dries really quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with some of the orange. Now I'm just going to put a very small amount of color right on the tip of my paintbrush. Just a little bit of that orange. I'm going to use the point of my paintbrush here, and I'm just going to put a few little streaks of this orange color around the edges and through the leaf. And I'm basically working from the center here out. You see that? And with a clean paper towel, just wipe it out. Okay. Then I'm going to go in and do the same thing with the green. I'm going to take just a corner. Very small amount. Use the side of the cup to remove any excess. And then just do again a few pull throughs. And there's the green. I'm going to go ahead here and go into the red. Just doing the tip. And just try to be a little strategic as to where you're placing your colors. Now, fall leaves change. You can use whatever colors you like that make you think of fall. When you wipe off, you want to pull out just the same way that you did, because you don't want to spread that color any more than you have to. Okay, so all of my colors are on. I'm going to go in with a little detailed brush into this burnt sienna. Now this again has some water mixed in, so it's nice and thin. Take off any excess. And now I'm going to go in and paint the veins of the leaf in. So just put in a light kind of broken line. And get the stalk there. And then a little excess. And that leaf is done. All the little mixed colors make it look like a nice fall leaf. I'm going to go ahead and do this to the rest of the leaves, and then we'll be back and we will distress the leaves. All the leaves are done and dried. Now we're going to go ahead and distress them with the antique wax again. And on these guys, just again, go ahead and make sure you hit all the way around the edges. Pull through on the tips. There's little sharp points. If it feels too thick and it's coming on too heavy for you, just add a little bit of water. So I go all the way around, and then I kind of go back and just drag through right around the edges. Kind of tone down that color on the edge. Okay, very pretty. I'm going to go ahead and do this to the rest of the leaves, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so all of our pieces are done and dried. Now I'm going to make some little bows to put on each of the pieces. Onto the pumpkin, I'm using the dark brown raffia. I made a nice little bow. We're going to glue those right on down underneath the hole. Now I'm going to use the red raffia and make a bow for the leaf. So I'll show you how to do that. I take 2 pieces of the raffia, and then I just tie a normal bow. I start with a knot. And then tie it like you would tie your shoelaces. You can pull the ends back through until you get the right size of loops that you want. So once you got your little bow the size that you like, go ahead and cut the ends off and cut the tails however long that you want. You have a nice little red bow, and that's going to go right underneath the leaf. Now on the turkeys, I'm going to do a little twine bow. Those are pretty easy as well. You just want to cut a piece about 3 inches. That's what you're going to use to tie it together. Now I like the width of about 3 fingers. So I just wrap it around till I have like 3 loops around my 3 fingers. Take it off. Pull it together. Cut the end off. And then the shorter piece, we're just going to tie it in the middle. Make sure you're in the middle. Make it nice and snug, and then go ahead and tie it down one more time. And then we're just going to cut it off. Adjust it a little bit. So you got your 3 little loops and your little tails. You can cut your tails however short you want them. And we'll be gluing this guy right underneath the turkey. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make my bows and get them glued down. And I will string them onto my jute twine to hang, and then I will come back and show you what the finished product looks like. Everything is all done. I have it all stringed onto the jute twine. What I did was go ahead and tie a little loop on the end. That'll hook one side. I didn't tie one on the other because I don't know exactly how long I'm going to need it for where I'm going to hang it. But doesn't that look really nice together? The jute is nice because you can move it back and forth, but yet it's strong enough and non-slip resistant that once you place them where you like them, they're not going to slide around. So I did a turkey, a leaf, a pumpkin, and then repeated all the way through. Well, I hope you enjoyed this craft. If you like crafts, DIYs, and hauls, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I upload new content every week. Thank you so much for stopping by. You have a great day, and we'll see you next time.